So I saw something yesterday online. Obviously, everybody is not only announcing their jersey numbers that are going with their new signings, right? You're getting to see the numbers that everybody's going to wear, but they're putting out their little graphics of the jersey with the number and the name on it, so you can get used to seeing people in the new colors.
What teams you talking about for?
I'm talking about JT Compher.
Oh, you saw, yeah, with
signing with the
Wings.
Detroit Red Wings a couple weeks ago.
I saw that jersey come out. I mean,
that cut me deep.
Well, you know what? Listen, man. The problem is, Robbie, is those days are long gone.
That I know they are. I know the rivalry isn't anything like what
I was
it used
driving
to
down
be.
Colorado Boulevard yesterday, and I took a picture of it, and I'm going to show it to you.
You know what's weird, though? Because Compher seems like an Avalanche staple, and not having him here is weird.
It's going to be
So
strange.
here's a guy walking down Colorado Boulevard yesterday. What's he wearing?
A Red Wings jersey. And
Yeah, so I took a photo of him at the stoplight.
it still boils up a little bit of hatred inside of me.
Yeah.
Now, they're in the Eastern Conference. The rivalry is nothing of what it was. None of these guys who are on the teams now care. But when I saw that graphic yesterday, there was just a little bit of hatred that boiled up inside of me. And it made me think, right now, in Denver sports, we don't have one. There's no rival.
The Lakers.
And I was gonna say, Vic,
Yeah.
you doing that at the parade is as close as we can get. But if that's a rivalry, it's just starting now because we just beat them in the playoffs.
Great.
Because they've been mopping the floor with us for years.
It's been a one-way rivalry. It hasn't been a rivalry for
them
40 years. Exactly right. I mean, but now it is.
Now you got them to pay attention.
Now, hey.
But other than that, like,
why is that not a good thing, by the way? For those all scared about it, oh my God, you woke them up.
No, it's a great thing.
It's great.
It's a great thing.
It ups the ante for both teams.
But I just remember, like, listen, I've lived here my whole life. There was Raider hater T-shirts, right? There was, I could not look at a Detroit Red Wings jersey and not have hatred boil up inside me.
What about the Chiefs?
No, of course not.
They mopped the floor with us.
Yes, okay.
You know what I mean? It's not a rivalry.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of the Chargers. The Raiders are a shell of themselves.
Yeah,
Pro sports is different now. Pro sports is not like it used to be. I think because of college that's still there, because of the ability of people to go on. I mean, online has really shrunk the world, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, but people have. Nobody's territorial anymore. Everybody just moves to wherever.
You're right.
So this idea of our town versus your town, our team versus your team, which is why you've got little Jimmys and Billies and Johnnies
wearing Steph Curry jerseys.
Wearing Steph Curry jerseys all over Denver. Wearing LeBron jerseys all over Denver. Wearing Giannis jerseys over Denver.
You're right.
It's just the way it is. I would venture to guess. I mean, you can't walk around Denver without seeing Mahomes jerseys all over the place. I mean, Rob, it's just different than it used to be. The world is smaller now, and people intermix between city to city and move all over the place. It's just not the same.
The Hatfield-McCoy rivalry that you're looking for does not exist anymore. However, I think there's another layer to that, Moj. A reason why rivalries are tougher to form today is because a lot of these players are too lovey-dovey with each other.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
The late great Peter McNabb.
They're too lovey-dovey players just to hate each other.
Yeah, God rest his soul. What a great man. But when he played the game, it was different. And let me give you an example. You see these guys at center ice, warming up and stretching and stuff, and shooting the breeze and all this kind of thing. And, guys, there are times when during morning skate, guys will come out to the bench and they'll see a former teammate, and that former teammate will skate by and blah, 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 ha, 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 ha. Back in the day, on those Boston Bruins teams that Pete was on, if you did that to somebody else, your own guys would kick your ass. And I'm not kidding you. Your own guys would punch you. You don't do that. You weren't lovey-dovey with the opposite. You weren't exchanging jerseys.
I never saw the Celtics and Lakers exchange jerseys after games.
You didn't see Magic and Bird.
But also, the chances that you would end up on that team were a lot smaller back then.
Yes.
Right? Like
You're exactly right.
The players move so frequently now
exactly right.
that they have to be nice to everybody because they could be your teammate.
You're 100% right. Like back then, the Bruce Brown from 1 year in Denver and then leaving, that didn't happen. most of the time you stood somewhere and you stayed somewhere for a little longer. So free agency has changed some things. Rivalries are tougher to come by.
Speaking of Bruce Brown, so he kind of addressed this a little bit when he was on a podcast. He was talking about how Jokic was maybe a little bit different when it came to playing the Lakers than the rest of the playoff series.
I play La La Land, the Lakers.
I think that series for us was like more personal than any other series.
Clearly,
Don't know why,
it clearly
but it was like
y'all
we were at
wanted
their
that
neck.
smoke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Y'all wanted
And
all that
we was
smoke.
talking that everybody. Nicole, I've never seen Nicole like speak on the court. He wasn't
shit.
talking, but he was like into the game.
Yeah,
Like
like he wasn't playing no games.
he was
bro.
playing no games.
Right. We got
So
into
that- like he had something to prove, and he the best player in the world.
we got into that a couple days ago in terms of the toughest series.
Yeah.
But when you've got your best player in the world and your best player, and he has that focus against the Lakers in terms of rivalry, yeah, I suppose that I hesitate to even think about the Lakers being the Nuggets rival because this is the first time they've ever won.
Yeah.
It's the first time they ever beat that team.
I'm with you.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not
You could have
against
a
it. I'm not
budding
against
rivalry
it.
there.
Yeah, I'm not against it. It's just that it doesn't exist yet, except perhaps in your own mind. Now,
So-
let's see what when Darvin Ham comes out this summer, a couple of weeks or a week ago, and he's all hot and bothered about the Lakers' daddy Vic's comment, and LeBron did it from Lamont, all this kind of stuff. Okay, maybe that'll perpetuate things a little bit. But it still has to develop. We're not there yet. For the Broncos, we're not there with anybody yet. They've been downtrodden. They've been getting their butts kicked. The Raiders stink.
So I spent some time thinking about it.
It just doesn't matter anymore.
I spent some time thinking about it. Let me throw a couple names out at you as to teams that you might consider a rival.
Can I ask you a question before you ask us that question?
Sure.
Back to the Jokic thing and why he was fired up for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Deep down, we all know Nikola Jokic. You think he has any enmity toward the city of Los Angeles?
Not at all.
No.
Do you think he has any issues with the history of the rivalry? Do you think he cares or knows about how many years the Lakers have owned the Nuggets?
It's somebody on that team.
Who is he directing his rivalry tendencies toward?
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's LeBron.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So when LeBron, we all laugh, oh, he was the last guy picked and this and that. You don't think deep down Joker is saying, who do you think you are?
Oh, I don't think so. I think he
Oh, I
wanted.
do.
I think he
Oh,
wanted.
I do.
I think he wanted to beat the best. I don't think he cared about the All-Star thing. I think he said to him, "This has been the best player in the NBA for 2 decades."
Disagree with you. He'll never show it. He'll never say it. He'll never admit it. He was disrespected by LeBron
Robbie,
James.
I don't think so.
Rob,
Oh, yes, he
hold on a
was.
second. It wasn't
And
the
it's
only
not
time.
just this year.
Yeah, he's
It's
been
multiple
disrespected
years.
before, which is why I think he jumped up and he put himself on the
100%.
team before the very last guy.
100% in private. If you asked him, who does he want to beat the most in the NBA, he would say LeBron James.
Yeah, I
And he
agree
did.
with you. I just don't think it's because he got picked last in
I
the
do.
All-Star game. I think it's because
Well-
he knows that LeBron James has been the name in the NBA for the
Okay.
last 2 decades.
No. Let me step back here a little bit. I think that could be a factor in it. But Nikola Jokic comes off as this, I don't care about anything and all this. I just water off a duck's back, no big deal. He's also a human being. And he has been, as the best player on earth, for whatever reason. He's been kicked. He's been dumped on. He's been made fun of. He's been downtrodden in the eyes of some media and other guys in the NBA. And there comes a time for personal pride when you say, you know what? Enough is enough of this crap. Enough is enough. And I believe that when they got to that series against the Lakers,
He wanted to beat LeBron.
I think he wanted to beat LeBron and stick it right in his LeBron hole.
I 100% agree with you.
Okay, not just because he's the best player on the planet, talking about LeBron, one of the best ever, but I think he's tired of being kicked around in the eyes of his fellow NBA players.
Yeah.
And so I think that had a factor in it. Now, could they be a rival? I don't know. I think of all the sports, Rockies don't have a rival. The Dodgers whoop them.
Right.
It's not the Giants, it's not the D-backs or the Padres.
There was a time
Nobody
that you
inside
could say the
division.
D-backs, but I don't think you
Not
can anymore.
All right.
I
I'm
think
sorry
the-
to interrupt you. Back to what
Oh,
you
sorry,
were
Robbie.
asking.
I think the only team in town that may have a true rival would be the Avs in Minnesota,
Yeah,
perhaps.
the Wild.
So that was one of the names I was going to throw out.
Yeah.
But the Wild haven't win anything. You know what I mean?
and they
Like,
have to-
But they've beaten you.
You know what? It would have been helpful to meet in the playoffs more often. They've only had that one playoff series.
if you would have had a first round matchup against them this year,
Yeah,
you could have talked about it getting fired up a little bit.
Yeah, they beat the Avs.
In that 7 game, I remember that one.
They also, that was Patrick Waugh's last game. Andrew Burnett's goal was the last,
Oh, yeah,
last goal
okay.
ever scored on Patrick
Okay, you're
Waugh. So, but that's, 2 times in
So-
20 years is,
Yeah, it's not enough. It's
No.
not enough to make a rivalry.
No.
Even though you've been in a division with them this entire time, like it's not enough. So let me throw some names out there.
Yeah.
How about still in Minnesota, but the Timberwolves? Because that's a team that's, I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
about game 82.
They gotta be better.
They knocked the Nuggets out of the playoffs.
They're not. I think rivalries stem not only from regular season hatred, but you have to have equal stakes.
Okay.
You know what I mean by equal stakes? The Red Wings and the Avs had equal stakes.
Sure.